This is Henry Sliss with the W, and I am here with John Cody, Puppeteer. Before we get started with the questions, would you like to give us a bit of background in your work in puppetry and with film?
I've been doing puppets ever since I was a little kid, for as long as I can remember. Been a professional, I suppose, for over a decade now, working for various companies like the Jim Henson Company and Nickelodeon, Disney, all sorts of different places that'll, you know, give me money for playing with puppets.
How did you come to work on this film, Mr. Crocket?
Yeah, Mr. Crockett was. So I had worked on the stand-in characters for the movie If. Eric, who was the main stand-in actor for the imaginary friend character Blue in the movie If. So Eric had been on set every single day of If, had worked with this stunt coordinator. The movie Mr. Crockett was gearing up for production. They knew they needed puppets. They had the same stunt coordinator as If. I got asked to do it. Eric recommended me. And then they actually needed two puppeteers, one for the Squawky Bird character who I play, and then the other for the Boogaloo Blue character who I brought on my friend Ben DeRoche to
Okay.
play. And Ben has done the suit performance of Junior Gorg in the past few seasons of
Oh,
Fraggle
cool.
Rock, so he was like totally perfect for it. And we've worked together a lot on stuff like Pineapple Playhouse for Nickelodeon, the Winnie the Pooh musical that was off Broadway a few years ago, and we've worked at the Jim Henson Company together for 7 years.
What was your favorite part about working on this film in particular?
Working on Mr. Crockett was really unlike anything I had done up to that point because I'm a puppeteer. It's usually the stuff I'm working on is for children and usually really little children. So there's a lot of guardrails in terms of what you can and can't do, can or cannot say, which it's good. Kids need guardrails, but to work on like an R-rated movie was really freeing, and it's just like super super fun just to be on set and feel like we could kind of do whatever we want. And
Hmm.
and we were encouraged to be scary and intense, which is often like the exact opposite of what you want for
Yeah.
children's show. So yeah, it was just like super unique. We shot it a year and a half ago. I still haven't worked on anything else, I think, quite like this in terms of just super adult R-rated stuff.
So I actually didn't get a chance to watch the movie yet.
Mhm.
I'll be doing that this weekend, absolutely. Have you seen the movie, and how do you feel about the final product and how it turned out?
Yeah, so we actually watched the movie the day it came out. I was on tour. I tour with the Avett Brothers, and it's me and eight other puppeteers. And so on the tour bus, we put on the movie,
That's so
turned off
cool.
all the lights, watched it, and everyone had a really great time with it. It's super fun. I mean, it starts right away. The first scene, there's a puppet within, I think, the first minute or two. So it was just like, hey, I get to see my work on screen. And there's a couple of parts in the movie that were fun for me because I wasn't on set certain days. I was only on set when the puppets are being
Mhm.
used, obviously. It was super fun, and I think it's a super, super fun horror movie. It's not too scary. I think it serves the audience it was setting out to please. It's the right amount of like cartoonish and horrific and gory and silly and retro. I think it's a lot of fun, and I know that they want to make more of them,
Mhm.
and I really hope we get to make more of them. But I'm really happy with just how this movie turned out.
Without getting into spoilers or
Mhm.
anything, was there a favorite scene that you worked on or a favorite puppet that you had that we haven't talked about yet?
Yeah, I mean, there's a few. So I play a few different puppets, but primarily I do Squawky Bird. And Squawky Bird actually has two versions of the puppet, and I'll leave it at that because that's maybe a spoiler. We had a lot of fun. Like the first day or two, we needed to film material that would be in the montage of the Mr. Crockett's World theme song. My character does not speak words; it only speaks
Oh,
in
okay.
bird squawking.
Okay.
So I had to do this whole improvised scene where I can't verbally respond, but we like totally connected, me and Elvis, who played Mr. Crocket. I know there's bits of that scene in the movie. I would love to see like the full take because, we had a whole scene where Mr. Crocket was like teaching Squawky Bird the hustle. And also it was fun because we had kids on set who were really excited to see the puppet.
Okay.
And we did a whole like hide and seek game. We did a number of games. There was one day, I forget which kid exactly it was. It was just in between takes. We weren't even filming anything.
Mhm.
And this kid comes up to, I'm in a window as Squawky Bird. So my
Mhm.
human body is hidden. And so he's just seeing the bird. This kid is just seeing this bird and starts just having a whole conversation with Squawky. And again, I cannot speak English. I'm just doing and we just end up having this whole conversation and I'm just trying to, gesture and stuff to get my
Yeah.
ideas across. But, I was just trying to entertain this kid between setups and then I realized when we were almost done talking, I was like, "Oh, they started filming on this because they noticed that we were just like
Ah,
having this like really for real moment in life." And I'm
awesome.
not sure if any of it ended up in the movie, but it was just a really fun experience. In the first scene of the movie, I don't play Squawky Bird. I play a different character.
Okay.
I
Of
play a piece of furniture that comes alive. It
course.
was a fun scene, and it's this great way to start off the movie, but we did shoot it in July in a very small house with no air conditioning. It was 90 something degrees
Oh
out.
my
And
goodness.
I was on the floor to operate this piece of furniture. I'm on the floor. And we also like filmed until like 1 a.m. that day.
Oh my God.
It was crazy, but it was good. And this was my first movie as a puppeteer, as a
Okay.
performer. To be on set of this movie and to be more directly involved in the making of it was a huge treat for me. I'm a huge movie fan, and yeah, it was really really fun.
Are you hoping to continue performing on film as a puppeteer?
I want to do more movies as a puppeteer. My career is so like scattered. It's just kind of whatever projects come up. Like right now, I'm touring with the Avett Brothers doing these live concerts. I never thought I would do anything like that ever, playing for 10,000 people every night. I'd love to do more movies. And I have a few movies that I've written that I'd like to get made, but obviously that's a bit of a more difficult task to
Yeah.
create and fund your own movie. So hopefully one day I can make those. Yeah, so I'd love to keep doing movies, and I really hope we get to do another Mr. Crockett.
Is there anything that you want to say, any advice or anything like that for aspiring puppeteers, puppet builders, filmmakers in general, just anything within that realm of networking or
Hmm.
getting to work on stuff?
Yeah, I think, and this is true for anyone going into the arts or entertainment, is just make your own stuff and get it out there because like I've realized in the years that I've been a freelance puppeteer is like, oh, so many of these jobs are just because someone thought of me. And the way to get people to think of you more is to be putting stuff in front of them on social media and just putting stuff out there. It doesn't, I think I have a tendency to be a perfectionist. So I have to tell myself, like, it's okay. It's not perfect. It's something. And putting something
Mhm.
out there is a million times better than hemming and hawing over something for a
Right.
year and then never even releasing it, maybe. So just keep making your own stuff. Just be, I think if you're just like nice and respectful and you keep working on your craft, like people will want to keep working with you.
Mhm.
The jobs that I get are like the Avett Brothers job. Like I'm pretty sure I just got that job because they were like, "Oh, John, he's easy to work with. He's not, let's get him on this job."
Mhm.
So, and just like Eric recommended me for Mr. Crockett, he's like, "Oh, John, he loves movies and he's super nice and easy to work with and works really hard." So I'll recommend him. You just want to make it easy for people to recommend you and make it easy for people to find you and your work.
And last thing, is there anything you want to promote, any upcoming projects or just social media or business or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, you can follow me on all social media platforms at John Cody Stuff. That's JohnCodyStuff. and I am posting pretty regularly original stuff there, mostly puppet stuff, but other stuff, other like animations and illustrations and stuff too. If you have the MLB streaming service, I'm going to be on a new show on the MLB app called the Time Traveling Spaceship Show. I think that's what it's called. I we like just shot it, and I think it goes up mid-November. So if you see a blue puppet on the MLB app mid-November, that's me, and please watch it because I'd like to make more. And watch Mr. Crocket on Hulu. It's short and sweet. It's only 80 minutes, so it moves and yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Thank you so much, John, and let's get back to the movie roundup.